Hi. So this is a random video and a very different type of video from the usual um, because I was just working on one of the sweet potato plots, and I thought I'd make a video about sweet potatoes. So there are 3 plots this year. Let me turn this around, show you the main one here. Focus. Okay. And there we are. This is the plot where we've been growing sweet potatoes. This is the 4th year straight. The first year we grew sweet potatoes was a very random thing. Let's plant a sweet potato and see what happens. In in a spot of the yard where we weren't really growing anything, and the net result was we got nothing out of that because it was poor soil and and we didn't do anything special for it. So it grew vines and leaves, but there was really nothing underneath. But once we got serious about it and started preparing the soil and fertilizing it a little bit and tending to them, then they started producing. The first year in this plot, I planted 5, lost one to an underground critter, after which I surrounded the others with nails to protect them while they were still young, and I've been doing that every year since. Except this year, well, that past couple years, I've actually been using little pieces of bamboo. But and you can see there's the fencing. I mean, the stakes here are bamboo stakes for the fencing. And I planted this in I guess May. I don't remember the exact date, but probably maybe the 2nd week of May, because these things do not like cold weather. So you have to make sure that dangers of frost is gone. And there are 15 in here this year. I was gonna just do a dozen, but well, I had space and I had more more plants, so I put an extra 3 in there. And then over here, this was Mom's spot. The first one has been my project for years. This was hers. She was impatient to grow these things because she saw a sweet potato from last year and that was already growing sprouts, and she was like, "Oh, it wants to live. Let me help it to live." And it was too darn early to do that. Now, sweet potatoes, the way we grow these things is they basically start as house plants. So we put them in water or moist dirt and let them grow sprouts, and then cut off the sprouts, put it in water, let the sprout grow roots, and then put the root in potting soil, and let it become a indoor plant before we finally put it outside when the weather is favorable to that. So you have to start the whole process about like 2 months ahead before you intend to plant it. And well, Mom started that process too early, which meant she put it out too early. So these things were struggling at first with the cold weather, and then once they stopped struggling and started growing, then the groundhogs decided they wanted to eat the leaves because the leaves are tasty. And if you like that sort of thing, you could put them in a salad. But anyway, so they ate all the leaves off of these things, and then I got it nice and surrounded and barred off. I put all these little pieces of bamboo, knocked them in the ground for kind of an underground fence, and then I managed to kill a couple of the groundhogs as well. So the leaves are growing back, and I was trying to get some of the stuff off, trying to get some of the weeds out, and even though I'm leaving sweet potatoes in here, some regular white sweet potatoes in here, and there's another thing to come out. and trying to get stuff off the ground. Because Mom likes to cover up the ground. She's like, there are no bare spots in nature unless something's wrong. And I'm just like, well, yeah, nature is only worried about reproducing itself. It's not worried about feeding us. When we're growing stuff to feed us, we need to, take steps to maximize that. And sweet potatoes, as they're vining, they put down more roots, which become more sweet potatoes. But they don't do that if they can't touch, in my experience, they don't do that unless they touch ground, touch dirt. And if you have it all covered up, then they're not going to be planting themselves and growing more, and you're going to be minimizing your potential crop. So in my experience, it's advantageous to keep the ground bare, and also keep the weeds minimal. So I've been trying to get some of the stuff, this stuff out of here. But anyway, that's the second plot, and I put a little bit of home fertilizer on there as well. I don't think this has the greatest soil. We'll see what happens with it. And then there is a third plot. Down here. And this is the second year growing sweet potatoes in this spot, and this is basically an extra. This was just extra space that we had. We just had a leaf pile on it before, and I decided, you know what, maybe I should plant something here. And we had extra sweet potato slips, sweet potato plants, so I went ahead and planted them here. And this is basically just the extras, and anything we get from here is extra. And the other plots are the ones that are expected to produce, that we hope that we produce. And this, of course, we hope produces as well, but like I said, it's basically cream. And you can see these vines coming out of the fence here. These things vine like crazy, and I try to keep them within the fence as much as possible, because where they do vine out to, where they can touch dirt, they start planting themselves, and I feel obligated to actually dig there in case there's more sweet potatoes there. And I want to kind of minimize the how much I'm going to be digging. Plus, I feel kind of bad mowing over the things as well. But at harvest time, we're going to be I harvest them usually end of September, beginning of October. So there's a good 2 months to go for these things. And digging it up by hand, it's hard work, but it's very exciting when you have a good crop. To be getting all those beautiful homegrown sweet potatoes, the big ones, the small ones. The small ones are very snacky, very snackable, and the big ones are just like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this before. So yeah, hopefully we'll have another good crop this year, and so. Yeah, anything else I need to say? It's been raining a lot this year, so because of that, I haven't really been fertilizing them much, which may be good, because I think sweet potatoes don't really like to be over-fertilized. They don't like to be pampered, but so much. They do like good soil, but they're not big in. From what I've read and a little bit of my own experience, it seems they don't really like to be over nutrified, or whatever. That's a word now. So we'll see what happens. And in a couple months. So that's probably a boring video, but since I was with the sweet potatoes, I thought I'd make a video about them. And anyway, so they are delicious, nutritious, and fun to grow. And anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.